All right, so good morning, everyone. Good morning, programmers. Also to the online attendees, good morning. So, all right, we're actually quite busy because of the upcoming IT Olympiad, no, this coming March 4, 5, and 6. Tama ba? Sorry. Joke lang to actually. This coming March 3, 4, and 5 rather. So, that event is actually it's an annual competition for the regional annual competition of all IT of all schools and universities who offered information technology education, most particularly who offered BS Computer Science, PS, IS, IT, EMC in digital animation as well as in game development. So that's an annual competition which will be participated by different schools and universities all over the regions. So including Davao del Norte, Davao del Sur. So actually most of it Davao regions. Haven't heard of other regions actually participated. But most likely natas have 34 schools and more or less 34 to 35 schools. The venue will be on yung competitions will be held at Ateneo. So then yung isang competition will be held at Holy Child and the MCits will be held at UM. I guess UM Athena. So uh, yun yung which you will be attending this coming May 5. So in May 3, May 4, there are competitions. So we have programming competitions, we have game pitching, innovation pitching, uh, digital digital drawing, infomercial, infographics, and a lot actually, more or less 8 or 10 competitions. So I handle 4 competitions, which will be participated by most of your classmates. So we're actually preparing for it right now. That's why some of your classmates are actually there in the EMC lab. They're actually preparing right now, and in the next coming days, we'll also be doing preparation. So we'll have to get them prepared para because this is I guess the very first time we're going to join as Mapua. It seems like di nag-join ng Mapua for the past few years. Okay, medyo gamay pa man ng population. So it's time for us to shine, and I know Mapua it's a prestige schools now, and medyo ginatingala na siya all over the regions. Okay, so with that, I'm going to finish all the topics for today. So actually, the topics for today will be in preparation of your data structures and algorithm as well as in the OOP. Whenever you pass this subject, you will have that courses. No, dalawang courses, which are in advanced programming. So either depending na lang on your teacher, if I will be your teacher in data structures and algorithm, most probably we're gonna be using Java. No, that's an advanced Java focus on the algorithms because the things that we're gonna be learning here in this course will be applied in that course. Now for OOP, it's either Java or C Sharp. No, depende sa teacher ninyo. So it's an advanced programming. Anyway, these are concepts. Yung OOP and yung data structures are all concepts. Therefore, it's not dependent to any programming language. Any programming language will do. Okay? So, On May 5, that is happening at from 8 to 5. So you have to attend the MSITs. MSITs, by the way, is Mindanao Conference Information Technology Students. So together with the third year and fourth year, as you will be attending that conference. So what is expected of the conference? The conference will be participated by different students from different schools and universities. So what is expected in that conference? There are paper presentations, thesis, capstone, yung accomplished thesis and capstone presentations, no? Sa mana? Wala. Okay, there are, yun na yung, okay, yun na yung completed thesis and capstone. No? Students will be presenting their output to the panel, and then you will get to see how it should, what it should look like, how it should look like, or what it should take to becoming an IT or CS students. As well as there are mga speakers, distinguished speakers from different industries, who will be presenting their products also. So may mga activities and programs for that. And you're gonna be paying 350 for that, with an inclusion of yung bag. Pero ano yung tawag ng bag na yun? Drawstring, ball pen, notebook. And then, basta may mga inclusions, hopefully may durian or laptop. Anyway, that's it. Okay, of course, no, aside from that, you will gain knowledge. At least may idea kayo on how your thesis and capstone project should be, what like expected now ahead of you, or parang your ano yung expected output of the thesis and capstone of CS, IS, and IT students. Also, by the way, EMC students. So, you're gonna be paying 350 for that, and then saan kayo mag-pay? Doon sa representatives ninyo. So, yung representatives ninyo would be the for A121, Nami, for A122, Aisha, Jones, and for A123, kinsa to kung giano, si Kanama ba to? Pero parang si Kanama is from A124, so I don't know if sugot siya, pero sugot man siya, but I'll try to ask from A123 kung kinsa ang pwede representative. And for A124 is si How. Then si What, Why, How did I? So si How lang sila, How. Right. Okay, please settle down. Now, this is also the for this week, or for today, this is also the last day that we're gonna be having our discussions, because all of you will be spared for your projects. So, pero sa May 2, that is allotted for or scheduled for the INC-IP removal exam, no? Removal remedial classes. Okay? So, removal remedial classes yan like next week. Okay? So, ayan. Anyway, if you guys have questions, I'll just keep you posted in our BBL as well as in MS Teams, and even in your Outlook. Yes. There's question. Ang week 9 is walay ano? Mm. Taman. Enter or choose lang. You can have the menu, itong drop down menu. Anyway. Pwede man i-drop down menu. Sige. So that's what you are doing right now. Okay, so then we'll have our project presentation on next week, May 2 to 5, and then we'll start our project presentation on May 8 to 12, and then 15 to 19, ano na yan, all the way up to the end of the class. So I guess that's it. Do you have any concern, clarification? Ako mag-schedule para wala mag-schedule ano. All right, so for today we're going to discuss dynamic arrays, user-defined classes or classes and objects, CRUD, and basic UI in Java. So the last man standing is sorry. Wala, joke lang. Wala na ko ano. So, okay. Sige. So, makita or hanap? Alungon na itong sila. Kalihog ko palong. Sige, I would suggest you also follow whatever I type. You would be able to know if there are questions. Mas ganahan ko black. Okay lang, pero okay lang sa inyo white. Ano lang para mas light ang iyang ambience. Okay. Na-record pa ni? Yeah. So online pips, if you guys have questions, please just raise your hand. Or just use your audio to be notified, or at least maibalaan na to if you guys have questions. Okay, so dynamic arrays. What is dynamic array, or what are dynamic arrays? So when we talk about dynamic arrays, these are algorithms, built-in classes in Java that are pretty much used by a lot of programmers in order for them to keep records and data, to manipulate records and data. So the idea is that it comes from the idea, of regular array. What are the limitations of regular arrays that you have identified so far? Like, ano yung limitation ng regular array? Wala kayo nakita limitation? Are you sure? So far. Anong limitation ng array? Normal and regular array. Dili mga two-dimensional? Pwede ma 3D. Pwede na ito na 3D. Pwede siya ma 3D, pwede 4D. Wala mo kabalo sa limit. No, JAG and RAG arrays are also different. JAG and RAG arrays are arrays na you are not going to specify the column, only the row. And the next, every row, saka ka na mag-specify ng, this is the JAG array. Example, I'm going to have the val, and then I have it like, is equal, sorry. Let's say this is new int no lang muna tayo. Then I have here 3. So in the event na ganyan, let's say I have that one. This is the RAG or JAG arrays. So I have here 3 columns, tama, for val. So ito, this is 3 by 4 by 6. That is 3 times 4, that is 12 times 6. That's your indices. So yung niyan is i-fold niya triple ang 4 times 6. That is 24. So i-fold niya thrice. Medyo lisod ang implementation niya, but the idea there is in ani as ang idea ng kanina two-dimensional array is na kay num0, num0, and then num0. So ana. And then next na po nimo na is num0, num0 tapos num1, say 90. So ana na siya. The point there is kaning 4 0 1 kani siya 0 1 2 3 tapos 0 0 0 0 tapos 0 1 2 3. Do you follow? Tapos next na naman is 0 1 0 tapos 0 2 0 ana siya. So kani 0 1 2 3 4 5 kani 0 1 2 3 and then kani 0 1 2. So that is 3 folds ni siya. Kaning 6 times 4. Ma-visualize ninyo? Okay, so inana siya ka lisod na implementation. So it's kaya siya itawag 3D. No? Pwede na siya i-4D actually. Pero lisod na ang implementation ana. Anyway, JAG arrays naman is you don't specify the column. The moment na mag-specify ka column is it's diba this one is 3 rows meaning the val has 0 but the column is still unknown. So wala pang kabaloon sa ibutang specify dira. Pero you can specify either you're going to make this val is equal to new int like let's say wait. Ay, sorry. So val 0 ato lang sa i-comment ha. Val 0 val sorry. Val 1 and then val val 2. Okay? And then if you're going to specify that the column should be every val 0 may column ka with 10. So meaning to say kani siya na each row na siya 10 columns. So kanipod if mag-specify ka diri na 20, then each row in that val 1 will have 20 columns. So iba if that's JAG or RAG arrays. Na yung implementations. Okay? So sige. Anyway, we'll get to understand this better in data structures and algorithms. So for now, we'll talk about dynamic arrays. So walang limitations? Wala? Are you sure? Okay, the limitation is actually the size itself. Like our regular array or normal array is fixed. Stagnant siya on that particular size. Meaning, if you're going to specify array of size 10, it will always be 10. It does not grow, it does not shrink. Tama? That's the very good. Now, if you're going to specify array of size 10, then if you have index 10 or maabot siyang index 11, it will become array index out of bounds. It will be caught by Java as an error. The good thing about Java is it catches the error. And you can throw it away. Pwede mo siya i-try and catch. Which we will do that in your advanced programming. So that's one of the limitation of the array, the size. No? As we all know, in computer programming, size does matter. Wala, katawa lagi. So, katawan ka. Size does matter. Yes. No? Even sa ato ang mga sa ato ang hard disk. Katawan na po kas kay hard. Isa man dyan. Hard disk. No? Size does matter sa mga hard disk. Sa ato ang flash drive or a flash disk. Diba? Size does matter. Size really matters. So that's one of the limitations of regular array. You cannot make it grow. You cannot make it na mag-shrink to its size. So kung sa siya ay size mo, na dito always. Okay? So morning person na kung no matter what happens, mawalan dyan na yung feelings towards you. Dili na na mag-change. Okay, sana all. Alright. So that's it. Another thing is it is only a single type. Oh, single na po. Single type. Single type. Meaning, if you specify array to be of int lang siya. Then double lang siya. It cannot store any other types. Clear? Di ba kung ano kag int like this, int lang na siya. It cannot store any float or double values. Clear, guys? So because of these limitations, dynamic arrays are created. So this is to answer and address problems encountered by most programmers. So, but again, without the presence of regular arrays or normal arrays, dynamic arrays will not come into place. So there are a lot of dynamic arrays available that we can use in Java. In fact, it is a built-in class. So nana siya hierarchy. We have the super class is called as list algorithm. So we're now talking about algorithm. And then we have array list, vector, linked list, stack, queues, and a lot more. But we're gonna be only taking two, which are the array list and vector. So let's start with array list. Okay, so let's remove this one first. By the way, this would imply that you're trying to store, either you're trying to store what specific element, either an encapsulated class or either any wrapper class. Example, we have, you can use a string, meaning the array list can only store string. The array list, if you're going to specify double, it can only store double. If you want this na mag-store lang siya ng integer, it can store integer. And if you want to store, let's say naggawa ka ng encapsulated class which is in your OOP, naggawa ka ng employee na encapsulated class as an employee, you can specify employee there. Okay, so that is what it will take you. Now we can remove this one for now, and then let's have something like our list. Okay, so it's equal to new our list. Okay, so all right, our list, our array list, our list is equal to new our list. What do you mean by this one? So now we can change this one to data para na lang dili siya like our list para di malibog. So anyway, our list is a built-in class. It's a dynamic array, meaning that the value, the size can grow and it can shrink. Okay, if we are going to add value to it or add data to it, it will grow its size. So flexible siya. I mean, elastic. No, mo grow mo siya plastiko, no, mo grow mo shrink iyahang value the moment we enter data. So na siya algorithm na gina-follow, but we're not going to focus on the algorithm, on how it inserts data, how it removes data and all, but we're gonna be learning how this one will behave. So it's a class, this is the object, so data is the object, and the array list is actually the constructor of array list. No, constructor ang tawag nato ani method. So now we are going to enter data. So data dot add. So as easy as that, no? We just call the method. So data add, let's say I'm gonna add 12. I can even add more data to it without specifying kung ilang size ang I do have in my array list. Like for an instance, I can even store here, let's say Mapua. I can even store here Malayan. Okay, I can even store, let's say 69.90. And I can even store sorry, A, right? So yeah, as you can see, I don't specify what what should be the size of my array list. So ano siya, dynamic. That's why that what makes it dynamic, because I can store as much as data as I can. So you can specify, by the way, by default, okay, by default yan ha, default size of array list is 10. Okay, I can prove to you that. So if I'm going to have here size, like size, then I have here data dot size. Okay. So if I run this program, it would give me 10. Sorry. Size capacity pala. Wait, capacity. I know, I cannot call capacity in the array list, but in the vector. So later na lang sa vector, that the default size of array list, or the default capacity of array list and vector both are 10. Okay? So later na lang natin ngayon ito kasi walang capacity sa later na lang. Here. So data dot size. Okay, so now if you're going to, as you can see here, you have the initial capacity. Size and capacity are completely different ha. Pag sinabi natin size, current size. Pag sinabi natin capacity, the what they call this one? Size is the current size. Let's say I entered 3, that's the size, 3. Capacity is the amount of data it can store. So initial capacity of array list na raw. So actually oo. So basta maingon mo nga giatik na mangrutang sir kay wala man ano daw constructs. Dili na siya sa kung mabasa niyo, construct an empty list with an initial capacity of 10. Naka Java document. So meaning nani siya initial capacity of 10, automatic yan. Delete na lang din ni default size, capacity day, default capacity of 10. So ayan ha, nakita ninyo default capacity of 10. So if mag-enter ka 20 dira, that means imong capacity karon is 20. Clear? Clear guys? So meaning makastore siya og up to 20. Now if you're going to ask me, sir, 20 lang ba ang ma-store sa array list? Mm-hmm. Yeah, example, 5 akong gibutang dira. Okay, 5 lang iyang capacity. Pero, kung malapas siya 5, what will happen, sir? Mag-array index out of bounds ba? What will happen? No, it won't. Hindi, kasi mag-grow lang siya eventually. Okay? Sige, let's try to have this like, what's the current size of our array list? This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the current size of our array list is 5. Then our capacity, let's say butang nato dire, capacity nato is 4. So capacity is only 4, but the current size of our array list is 5. So if you're going to ask me, sir, nawala ang idea niya na 4 ang capacity, but 5 na karon ang current size sa array list. No, because again, that is what how dynamic arrays behave. It can grow, it can shrink its data regardless of the capacity. Yung capacity niya is the basis lang on that's why it is called as initial capacity. Kasi initially, it is declared as 4. Okay? Clear? Okay. Also, you can store data with different types. And if you are going to ask me, sir, what is that? What is with the warning? The warning message or this warning implies that you are not doing the parang inappropriate yung paggamit ng arlist mo. Incorrect siya. Incorrect yung paggamit mo, or dili siya error, but it's just a warning that you have to implement array list properly. Yeah, ang idea na is ano lang niya na dapat you have to specify either integer ba imong store sa array list or not. So if mag-specify ka na integer siya, then it cannot store any string values anymore. Clear ba? Kasi it's a double float. Okay? So if double, that is the only allowed na lang na data. So kanila ang allowed. Okay? So what if sir, I'm going to use object as in object. So all of it will be allowed. Okay? Automatically object siya. So without specifying, object siya automatically. Okay? So that is it for array list. Let's explore more. So we can also let's store the elements of the array list. Sige, we have elements. Am I fast? Or okay lang? Okay lang? Sige, data. Ayan. Please do follow para maano nyo. So, data, these are the elements of array list. So, i-store na ato siyang i-display. So, we get to display the elements of the array per this one. We have 12, Mapua, Malayan, 69.9, and A. That's the elements of array list. Okay, so now what if we're going to insert data? Insert means mag-add tag data, but it's going to be inserted at specific location. So how do we do that? You can just call data.add and then specify what index value. So if you're going to store this after Mapua, then you will use 2. Then you have here, let's say, Mapua, Malayan, let's say college, ay na lang, kasi colleges. Ay na lang. Okay. Tapos mag-increase na po ang size ni array list. Tapos mag-increase ang size niya, then display na to yung element, then it will display the data or the elements of the array containing which is colleges. So the Malayan and all other data will be cascaded. Pardon? What do you mean? Dili na ako i-change? Like, what do you mean? Kay 4 lang yung capacity. No need na. That is just an initial capacity. Just in case i-remove na, then mabalik lang siya sa 10 initial capacity. So, again, that makes it array list as dynamic. No? It can just grow anytime. So, again, nag-cascade or all the rest sa right side like Malayan, 69, and A will be cascaded to the right because colleges is inserted as in the index number 1. Okay? 2 rather. Question before we proceed? Wala? Okay. All right. How about if you're going to if we can insert, how about edit, sir? Can we edit a value? Of course, no? So we can edit a value by calling data.set. Okay? So iset mo lang siya, let's say, sige sa man yung edit. Insa? 3? Kani? Si Malayan. Sige. So index 3, 0, 1, 2. So 2 na siya. Oh. Madungaga naman din ni colleges, no? So, well, 3 na siya. Tama. Okay, edit na to siya into, sige, sa may value. Okay, Mindanao. Okay, and then we'll call this one. So this will not add this will not add this size, but it will stick to that size. And i-change lang niya dire is katong current value, which is Mapua, Malayan, College, wala nang Malayan because it is changed to Mindanao. So, can you imagine if inana na lang kadali magamit og array list compared to array, right? Tama? Ano? Oh, later on. Sige. Di ba imagine if inana na lang kadali nga no magtudlo pa man kag Ari sir na ni Ari list na inana dali na lang kayo. Again, it's like ang analogy ana it's like uh, better maka-learn kag manual then we proceed to automatic. Pero any will do, di ba? Pwede naman mag-automatic ang going to manual pero you will have difficulty adjusting yourself, di ba? Sa mag-automatic to manual, di ba? Mas dali ang manual going to automatic from automatic going to manual. Okay? And of course, no, as it's because the RA will teach us a lot of things and will make us realize that there is a limitation. So, and with that limitation, we can be resourceful in a way that we will try to find a way how to make that certain work, how certain program will have to work. Parang we'll have to really do our own algorithm in terms of manipulating data using array or regular array. Compared to this one, parang wala logic na. Parang you just use this one straightforward. No? Tama ba? Okay? At least we learned the hard way. Okay. Now, if what if we are going to delete? No? So how are we going to delete? Okay, meron tayong remove, pero dalawa yan siya. Okay? They have removed all, ay lang sana remove all, but we have removed through index and via through value. So, di ba mga po natong gigamit last time sa array? Nagnatay remove index, remove value, tapos mag-loop pa ta para ma-remove lang, and then i-cascade na to, kailangan to i-loop, replace with this. So, medyo dahan kay buhaton. But with this, we just remove. No? It's straightforward, remove, meaning I'm going to remove through index, I'm going to remove the first value, and then if I'm going to list the data or the list of all the elements of the array, then 12 will be removed from the array list. So there, no, nawala na si 12. Now, question, what if I have here, I will change this to 2, and then I'm going to remove, I want to remove 2. What will be removed? Is it 2 or Malayan? Hmm? Hmm? Malayan ang ma-remove? Are you sure? Sige. Okay. Sige. So na-remove si Malayan. Okay. So now what if ibutang na ko si index dili si what will be removed? Would it still be Malayan? Ang 2? Are you sure? Sige. Okay. So now, what if I'm going to have this one, let's say, Malayan. Siyempre, the one that's going to be removed is Malayan, tama? Because that's the object. Okay. Kanina instance, what if I have here 0, 1, magpulihan man nino, Mindanao. So I have here 2, sorry. Okay, kana. Insay ma-remove. Malayan gyapon. Si index or si ano? Si Malayan or si 2? Kisa yung gina-specify rin na 2. Ang index 2. Okay, sige. Very good. Because ang index 2 because array list is still an array. Therefore, order of precedence niya i-follow niya ang index. Mawala. Okay, ana 69.9. 0.9 na to, no? So if inana imong i-remove, then the 69.9 will be removed from there. Yes. So order precedence niya, unahon niya ang index, and the event na naa siya makita na example in ane 2. Isay ma-delete dira ron or ma-remove. Kung ibutang na ko ni as 2. Malian man ang index 2, no? Sige, ano na ko siya, pulihan na ko ni na index 2 0 1 2. Okay, kana. 0 1 2. Kani pa rin? Kani siya or kani? After malayan. Okay. So basta unahon niya ang index before ang object. Okay? So that's remove. What that concept is what we call polymorphic. Your method is polymorphic, or that's actually principle number 2, number 3 in object-oriented programming, which is polymorphism, meaning your program behaves or your method behaves two different things. Pwede siya mag-remove index, pwede siya mag-remove by value. Okay, so now another thing is, what if how do we search value in regular array? Mag-ano tag loop, di ba? Mag-ano tag value na i-search nato sa mag-loop pa ta if equals, tama? Tama. Katong regular na array, di ba? I-ano nato tapos saka pa nato makita, then if na 1 million ka records, yang buhaton is 1 million ka records, 1 million pud ka loop niya ito pangitaon, di ba? That's very ang time complexity niya is really 0 log n. Now, pag let's say we're going to search for a value. So string search is equal to, sige, pangitaan na to si Mapua. Okay, so pwede, no? Ang goal is, sige, tanaw sa nato ang have here data that contains. So the contains method will actually tell our compiler that it should look for a value that contains Mapua. Okay, and you don't have to use loop anymore. Dili po ang index ang iano. Ang ano niya, i-return ani true if it's true or false. Ang i-return niya if it's true or false. So meaning, pag pangitaon nako ang na-delete na ba nato Mapua? Wala pa. Pag let's say search na anday ni na. No, ang i-return ani is ang iyahang search. True ang either true boolean. True kung naa, false kung wala. So true, so meaning naa si Mapua. Just in case na letter M ni mo, di ba Java is case sensitive, the result will be false. So meaning wala niya nakita. Therefore, pwede nimo siya himuon as condition that if a data that contains search, so you can do something like, it is found at something like that. So easy na lang kayo compared to regular array. Clear? Nakuha, guys? Okay. So with this one, you can say something like, so we have search is found at very good, katong asa daw makita ang index. Gusto na ko sir makibal-an ang index sa isa ka value. So ano lang, data.index of vertical, dali, no? So makita nimo siya kung asa siya na index through index of, example, i-run na to siya. So Mapua is found at index 0. Wala, index 0 si Mapua. Okay, na delete naman. Do you follow? Okay. Medyo. Okay. What's the difference between data that contains and data that equals? Kung mag-data dot equals search ko equals ano eh? Hmm? So example ana. Unsay result expected result ani. So wala na, di ba? Yeah, very good. Actually, kung mag-ari ka, even ang sa ari equals kay ang ano ato is katong object itself. Meaning, if you have two different arrays or array list, data dot equals if pareha sila og list or pareha sila og mga elements. So kung specific ang imong i-search na element is data dot contains, not data dot equals. Kalmo na run na wala. If data dot equals, so if data dot equals, so check na to. Churlalu, Churvanes ni dire. Churvanes. So that does not work. I mean, imo kagalaing array list na data. Sige, next is scrap this one. Don't use equals. Ay mo pag use equals but use contains. Sige, next is so basta mapadali, in short mapadali inyong programming sa this one. Pero I would suggest mag-array mo kay mas mo bright mo ana. Mas mo bright mo kung array, regular array. I tell you. Okay. How about if you're going to retrieve a certain value lang, certain value? Very good. That get. Okay, you learn. You really do your homework. Okay, that get. So specific index. Pag yung kung ano kung 2, get index 2. So yan Mindanao, and then we can have. So there are actually a lot of things na we can explore here. No, add. Yan index of. Pwede siya is empty. No, if it's empty or if it's not, then we can have here the pwede ta mag-loop gihapon diri ha, your regular loop. So let's say example we have int I is equal to 0, I is less than data dot size and then we have I plus plus. So let's have here system dot out data dot get tapos I. So this is the use of regular loop, tama? So pwede po ta magamit og for each loop. For each loop, which is the same, magamit nimo sa array. So with for each loop, you will use this one, let's say object. So since object siya, you'll need to, object ang array list, you'll need to use object. Otherwise, you're going to parse it to string or i-typecast nimo to string. Let's say for an instance, val, then I have here data. So let's just copy paste this one. Instead, ang ibutang nimo dre is val na lang. Okay, so that's the difference between using regular loop and for each loop. So with this one, you take advantage of the index-based programming, which is regular loop. So using get method. But with this one, to represent the all element of the data, which is your array list, kay si val na lang instead. Ano po? Kung unsa to element sa data i-represent ni val. So pwede na mo maghimog condition dire that sige, para sa nato it will display the same. Display lang yun niya pareha. Kung sa dire kung maghimo kag conditions pag to remember pag mag-ano ka condition inani na if data dot get example I dot dire gamito na nimong equals rather than contains. Katong contains kay pangitaon niya ang isa ka element sa entire list. Ang equals kay ang ihang i-compare niya ang each and individual element sa isa ka whenever you do loop. Inani ang pag if you say contains, you don't need loop anymore. Clear? If you say equals, each instance of the element ang imong pangitaon. Okay. So mo nang equals imong gamiton, let's say pangitaon nimo si Mapua. Then data.getI is found at, pwede nimo at sa specific I. Dire, instead na mag-ano ka, imuhang buhaton dire would be like this na lang, no? If val, ano na siya? Val dot equals tapos Mapua, then so dili nimo ma-capture ang index dire, but you can use that index of tama. Ano happen? Somebody control my so na-click na ko ang ano? Data dot index of Mapua. Ayan. So Mapua is found at index 0. What happened? Mindanao lagi ni. Mapua is found at 0. Then Mapua 0. Then Val, sorry. Yeah, Val is found at, okay. Basta na Val, na-capture niya. Use equals kung individualized, use contains kung wala, di na ka magamit og loops. Okay? Sige. So, question. Isn't it easy now? So, mas dali na lang siya, no? Tawag-tawag na lang ka. Pardon, dire? Pwede ra, pero that's foolish, ano? Kung mag-contains ka dire, it's like di ka ni siya allowed. Kung mag-contains ka dire, let's say, di man ni pwede dire dito sa PCAS. Katong data that contains kani. Sorry, contains. Kani siya, tanggalon sa nato niya. Kana, if that is the case, pwede po. Contains, Mapua na. Pero mo ang ano is kanang kung contains kay behind it is nakananay loop, ang mo return na lang true. Kani kay ikaw kung mag-equals ka, but then again you have that only means na RLS is built as something na programmer has the parang has many options on what he or she will use, either katong mag-individualize or mag-contains, meaning pwede na kay mga different options ba kung sa imong gamiton na mga methods or functions. Okay, do you have questions? Wala, di ba dali ra kaayo, no? So let's now proceed with the second one, which is vector. So all the rest, katong uban na list algorithm, they will not be tackled right now. So sa data structures and algorithm na nato siya tubuhaton, we'll have the other one, which is vector. So import java.util.vector. So apelyido ani niya magtatanggol. Vector magtatanggol. Okay. So let's have this. Okay, i-change lang nato ni siya para di na ta mag-ano discuss about it. Change na nato ni into vector. Vector and then vector. Everything works. Okay, very good question. What's the difference between array list and vector? Array list and vector are siblings. They come from the same parent, which is list algorithm. Meaning to say, whatever array list has, vector also has. Or if there are many, have. Oh. So what's the difference? So I'll be discussing to you the difference between the two. So there are, although they are siblings, naa sila'y differences. Mas daghan og capability si vector compared to array list. Number one, vector can vector has method that is called capacity, which array list doesn't have. Okay? So, di na ito may balansi, na siya capacity. So, it will determine kung pila ang iyang capacity. So, example, nagbutang ko vector 4 and then butang na ko dres sys out. Let's say, di ba naman tayo size ganina, no? Size backslash t. Pag gamit na ko ang vector data dot size versus data dot capacity. Okay, that is one is capacity. So I'll have here data capacity. So now, data dot capacity and versus data dot size. So if tanggalon na ko ni, the size would be pila gani? What's the size of our vector? 0, and then the capacity is 10. Okay, dara. Lahi ang size of capacity ha? Okay. The size is 0, the capacity is size is the current element. Kung pila. Capacity is ang iyahang max. Pero initial lang yan siya kasi mag-grow siya anytime. Okay. So if I'm going to specify here 4, the capacity of our vector would be 4. Okay, and ang ato ang size na to would be 0. Clear ba? Pero as it progress na nabasa niya tong nag-insert kag element, yang size na imo ng 6. Tama? So therefore, pila na capacity karon ni vector? Mao na tong tan-awon ron, okay? Sige. So, i-discuss na ako unsa tong mga differences ni array list and vector. Si array list na ay si vector na siya ay mga ilan ta ka vector. Kanila ha vector only ni siya. Vector only. The data dot na siya ay last element. Yan. Mak-capture nimo ang last element sa vector, data dot first element. Okay? Wala ni siya sa array list. You can have element at, so meaning element at instead of get lang. You can have 3. Okay? Then, and many more actually. So, makita nimo na there are methods na nadungag compared to, so na siya remove element at, di ba? That is something na wala kay array list. So, remove element at something. So, and basta na siya mga at something. So, let's change this to, i-change na ko siya into array list ha. Again, balik na ko siya to array list. Okay. As you can see, capacity is no longer allowed. And then, this, kani sila not allowed na. Kasi wala na siya sa array list. Guys, okay, are you seeing it? So, katong mga capacity as well as the last element, first element, elements at remove element, wala na siya sa array. Wala na siya sa array list because I changed it to array list. But whenever I change na ko siya sa vector, that will do. So, pwede siya. Gets? Clear? Okay. Sige. I'm now going to discuss to you the difference between the two on how they actually what is really the algorithm behind it. Although halos the same sila, pero nas like lahi-lahi na sila og way of doing things. Particularly in number 1, pag sinabing array list, okay, they both have the same na 10 ang ilahang initial capacity, but whenever I assign whenever we use array, array will grow the size by 50%. So meaning to say, if the size of an array or the capacity of array will be used up or exhausted, the size will grow, the capacity will grow by 50%. Yeah. Okay. So, aside din ang size, capacity na lang. Para clear. And then, vector will grow its capacity by double. Okay. So, guys, kaninyong timanan ha. Array list grow the capacity by 50%. Then, vector grow its capacity by double. So, I can prove to you that using this one. Paano siya mag-grow? So, if you have vector here na 4, iyahang capacity, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, at this point, di ba, ang size sa imong array karon is 0, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Na nasa 5, tama? So, meaning, nalapas na sa imong capacity, tama? Nalapas na sa capacity using array list. What will happen is, I will put here, okay. So, pag-abot diri sa line 19, since na-use up niya tanan capacity sa vector which is 4, pila na ang capacity ni vector if vector said to be na mo grow iyang capacity by double. So meaning mag times to iyang capacity. So pila na ang capacity ni vector diri? Karon 8. Okay, very good. Ang capacity ni vector diha 8 dara. So ni double. Now, kung mag-use up na po ni ang 8, ang vector, mag-use up na po ni ang 8, sige, nagdungag na po kag mga value. Sige, this is, yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ibutan na to, dila. So, mag-grow na po siya by, pila na po? Initial lang siya. So, mag-double siya, mahimo na siyang 16. Okay? Si array list kay mo-grow lang siya by 50%. Meaning to say, kung si array list akong gamiton, I cannot prove to you that. Why? Kasi array list doesn't have capacity na, wala siya capacity na, di ba wala, ano na ako ganina na array list doesn't have capacity, pero mo grow siya by 50%. So meaning to say, kung si array list atong gamiton, na use up niya ang 4, pila ang capacity ni array list? Dire, kanina part. Mo grow siya by 50% niya, 4. So 50% of 4 is 2. So 6. So 6 lang siya, dili siya 8. Tapos pag abot dire, 50% na pod of 6 is 3. So mo grow na po siya by 3, mahimo na siyang 9. So ana lang ang anong maggamit og it's like having an option whether what motorcycle are you going to ride. Yeah. Same lang god, di ba? Motorcycle can bring you to different places pero lahi-lahi sila og yung lahi-lahi CC. Wala yan instance no, wala. Kasi siblings parehalos na. That's the syempre pag kung ako mo gamit vector ko kay daghan og pwede mo gamit. Dili ang pud siya kay mas okay po dihang algorithm kay mo grow lang man by 50%. So meaning to say, dili kayo siya inana ka dako ang memory na i-allot niya in the event na dako siya og in the event na ma-use up ang capacity. So it's like this one ba na I told this one kasi nangutana pod ang gahapon na student na nangutana gahapon. I'll give the analogy kanang sa mga kasal. Di ba naman na yun? Okay, 50 packs lang dapat ang invited ha. Sa hotel, 50 packs mo lang yun na. Kung array siya, pag 50 packs, dili na pwede mo sobra. Dapat, pwede lang mo kulang pero di mo sobra. 50 packs lang yun ang i-prepare na plate. Gets? Kung array, regular array. Pero pag array list siya, siyempre ang uban na okay, invite ta ka sa akong kasal inana tapos kanang isa ka pamilya magdala pa jud magdala na siya og igsuon kapambasa ka pamilya. So probably mo in mo ang 50 capacity na packs pwede pa na ma-use up. So in the event na malapas og 50, let's say 51, kung array list mo grow siya by 50%, so mag-prepare sila og additional 25%, a total of 75%, regardless kung isa lang ang nadungag. So, compared to vector kay mag-double sa iyahang capacity, which is kung 50 times 2 mahimong 100. So, kinsa asa ka mas naka-save karon sa array list. Pero kung may tagdagan kang pwede magamit, kung pwede makadagan magamit, vector na lang. So, again, at least today, as a computer science, you have the very reason why do you use array list compared to vector or vector compared to array list. And because that's very important if you are a computer science. No? Anong gamiton man mo? Kaya daghan biyang mga algorithms, ano ka na gamiton? Anong sorting algorithm, bubble sort man mo igamit? Anong dili man quick sort? Anong dili man heap sort? Anong dili man merge sort? Anong dili man insertion, selection? So, mo na puhon natong discussion which is sa data structures and algorithm. But today, ang focus nato ang usage lang sa different algorithms, not its efficiency, not its but only the usage. Okay, so question. So mas mapadali imong work compared to regular array. So let us now discuss the classes and objects. So arrays, vector. Can you think of sige, unya na nato na discuss ang let's have Arvic. Okay, so now let's have the idea of classes and objects. Ano? Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to simulate the idea of array list and vector in such a way that we're going to create our own class that behaves like either array or a vector. Either or kay dili nato i-simulate tanan but we're only going to simulate some of it. So let's have our vect rather, and then let's have here in. So we're now actually heading to the 4 principles of OOP, which are encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, and abstraction. Okay, yan yung focus ng object-oriented programming, which is yung next course ninyo. And yung focus ng data structures and algorithm is all about algorithm, but focus to only one principle, which is ADT. So this is in preparation of yourself to that. So let's have the data as our storage, which is in array. We're not gonna be using array list and vector. We're gonna be using regular array. And then for the capacity is, this would tell us the capacity of our RVIC. And then let's have another one, which is size. So now I will make it as private so that it cannot be accessed outside of the class, because that's the essence of encapsulating a class. So now we're going to have here a constructor. So we call this as default constructor. Let's say I want the size, my size here is 0, okay? And then my capacity right here will be initially to 10. So I can put here something like a Java doc comment that let's say, aren't you going to follow? Okay, capacity, initialize. So dapat kabalot kay di naman makita sa ato ang user kung sa pilay capacity sa atong RVIC, dapat magbutang ta og initialize to 10. And size bold. Kuha na ni HTML and size to 0. So whenever magamit ta og kaning class dito sa, let's say, test nato siya, test RVIC, nagigamit nato right here. So maghimo na ko direct RVIC, yan. Let's say data, or lahi na lang, R na lang equals new RVIC. So as you can see, nanay nakabutang capacity initialized to 10 and size to 0. So kay dili naman ang user kung magamit ko ani imong class, I wouldn't know kung unsaang naasulod ana imong RVIC, which is kung pilay size or pilay capacity. So because I wouldn't know, at least as a programmer, imuha siyang pahibalon pila unsay sulod ana imong RVIC. Naa siya capacity and naa siya size to 0. Clear? So now, ako ang capacity ani would be, so in order for me to call the size, yan. So let's say size, I have here data, R dot size, okay, which in wala pa na siya because wala pa ta naghimo og method na size. And then we have capacity, cap na lang, capacity, R dot capacity. Okay. So wala pa tayong size, wala pa tayong capacity. So yung gawin natin is we're going to go back to our RVIC and we're going to create public int size. Then we're going to have return size. Okay. And then let's have here public int capacity. We're going to return capacity. So now, if you're going to run this program, you would have their size and capacity. So what this would imply you? So this would mean that we are able to create a class that behaves like RVIC in a way that it can, as of now, makaano siya capacity and size. Asa? So we have now used class which doesn't have any main. The only main that we have is the test RVIC. So we get to isolate the idea of encapsulating a class or separating a class or two different classes with only one main. So, and that is how your program should be. Dili siya pwede katong na lang ang main name na imong code tanan sa main. Okay? So, we can explore, we can actually write some more, no? Like for an instance, ang imuhang data would now dili siya mag-base na siya sa pilay capacity. So right here I can have here data is equal to new in capacity. Okay? Are you guys still with me? Are you sure? Okay, what if I want to have here na I want the user na siya ang so this is parameterized constructor. What if I want the user to specify kung pila iyang gusto na capacity? Okay? So we'll just have to do this like this. So buhatan na mo this, that capacity is equal to capacity. So what is this, by the way? Unsa nang this? Okay, this is a reference that calls the object itself. Instead of me declaring the object in this class, which is rvic, mag-create ako object, I wouldn't have to do that anymore because I will just have to refer it using the keyword this. Okay? But if you happen na may uban, like if you happen na dili magamit og this, you can have this one instead, like capacity is equal to cap. Pero again, this is something na makita sa user, kaning capacity, it would be better na mao niyang makita dito. And at least you follow the idea of when you encapsulate a class. Okay, so this that capacity equals to capacity. So this time, when the user has now capability of like, I want my capacity to be 100. So it's no longer 10. If ever wala siya yung naka-specify na initial capacity, that's 10. Pero kung punta na ko dira 100, that is, the capacity now is 100. Clear, guys? Are you sure? Okay. So, sir, inana di si Arilist paghimo, inana di si Vector paghimo, we don't know, but it seems like it's like that. Kasi Vector and Arilist did not exist, so it actually came from the idea of array. So most probably, ito yung idea niya na it's a regular array, it's encapsulated in another class para maging dynamic siya. So, 'di ba ato ang ano karon, array nato, it seems like dynamic na siya. Dili na siya like pwede na siya maka 10, like i-10 nimo imong capacity, pero imong ano is mag-grow gyapon siya to either pwede siya mo 100, pwede to 50, pwede to 60, 70 ana. Okay, so that's 10. Okay, so now you can have here, let's say, public void add. So, i-ano na to, maka-add ta og data. So, let's say in value, no? Value na lang. So, let's have here, let's say, ano yon, data. Okay, data equals, we'll need to have a size na lang. Okay, size is 0. So, data dot size equals value. Then let's have size plus plus. So whenever daw mag-add ta og data or value, so pwede na ni siya dili this, it's up to you kung data ni siya dire, much better na kani siya this.data. Okay? Pwede na na. Clear? Pwede na pod katong value. Okay, so when we add data or value to our rvic, sige mag-add ta, let's say r.add, ayan, r.add, let's say 5, r dot add, let's say 6. So imuhang capacity karon will be, imong size karon will be pila na? So 2 na siya because you added 2 elements. Okay? Sige. So sige daw, i-display daw ninyo in your program daw, I would need you to create an algorithm that display the elements daw. So sa itong pag-display sa elements, dapat r.elements. So dapat kung tawagon nako ning .r_elements, maghimo ta diri og public string na lang nato r public string elements. Okay, dapat mag-work to siya, mo display siya og elements na current elements sa tuang. Sige, unsa may algo ninyo dira? Excuse me. Kana, make it work. How do you make this work? String? Naita. O sige. So, this would require us, so since regular array man ta, let's have the I is less than size I plus plus kasi sa size man ta mag ano. And then let's have here string hold, and then we have here hold plus equals the data to no, data I plus like that. So, and then butang nato diri si hold. So all your logic business logic are here in this class, and then kanimo nimo ang pang-program imong main class kumbaga. So whenever you run this one again, so you have this, you can call the r.size, r.capacity method, r.size. So di ba mas limpyo imong program. And yeah, we are actually able to simulate the capability of what our array list and vector can. So that's it. Definitely that's it. If you want to explore more like remove, maghimo lang mo remove public void remove. Yan. So since di ba ang ano ato kay boolean man to, so pwede i-boolean nimo. So kung ma-remove true, kung dili false. Pero it's up to you kung unsa imong gusto. Ano po? Oo, mga methods na ni siya. Method driven na mao na ang classes and objects dili to. Pardon? Di ko mag-public static void. Unsa man akong buhaton? Nganong? Pardon? If mag-method, mag-public static void? No. Pag sinabi nating static, there's only one instance of it. Example, static ko itong remove. I-static na ko ng remove. That means I can call it directly using the class itself, like rvic dot remove. That's the only thing na matawag nato, which is ana. Let's say I or 0. Kasi static siya. Pero dili na matawag yapon na siya sa R. Pero kung na-notice niyo, dili na ako matawag si size capacity using rvic directly. Rvic dot. The only thing that I can call is remove because there's only one instance of that. So lahi na po na siya. Actually, nana po tayo kinatawag na instance variables and class variables. Sa OOP na ninyo ma-learn ka na ma-explore pa na ninyo sa OOP or Object-Oriented Programming. And this is really the real programming. Mao jud ang programming nga ng software development. Dili tong ginabuhat nato. Katong ginabuhat nato previously pang kuan anto like mag competitive programming, mag basic fundamentals lang jud siya. So this is what is or what you will expect in your OOP and data structures. So mao na kung dili nyo gets until karon unsaon pag loop, unsaon pag if condition, how much more kung mag inani. Kay mga if conditions, loops, arrays and methods mangyapon na a combination of all. Pero i-separate nimo siya. Okay? Mas organize imong program karon. So yeah, I don't really fan of using static kasi anyway, naman tayo mga pattern programming no singleton, natin may na programming sa Java. So I don't usually use static. Pero pwede na po ng static. Ikuha na natin na pohon. But now, so how do we remove? Kung mag-remove ka, you just have to do data. Sorry. Let's say int val is equal to data index, no? So anak, walay that remove. Then mag-loop ka diri para i-loop nimo ni siya, di ba? Para mo decrease ang size, tama? So int I is equal to the index I is less than the size I plus plus. And then i-ano nimo na i-cascade nimo siya that I is equal to data I plus 1, which is mao jud ang algo for ang tawag naton is cascade delete. So i-ano nimong size by decrease nimo by 1 kay para okay, sige. Para let's say nag-add kag data 7 and then nag-add pa ka more, let's say this is 8. So ang imuhang current elements karon 5, 6, 7, 8. I-remove nato ning 6, dapat 7 and 8 na lang. So let's have here dili na sa baba. R dot remove, let's say number 2, no? Ay, 1 di ay. So dapat ang elements nato karon kay C, pero array index out of bounds niya di ay. Ay tama, dili na kay ang algo di ay kay umanday nag is equal to size. So as you can notice 5, 7, 8 na lang, nawala ang 6. So imagine if ikaw nga programmer, you naghimo kag class na maginana siya and then ang user nimo karon inani na yang buhaton like call na lang siya ani. So it's not enough for us as a programmer to only use an existing program. But since programmer man mo, IT man mo, CS man mo, you'll need to know. Diba? What I'm trying to elaborate here is ipakitaan ta mo ganina og array list and vector capability. And unsay na feel ninyo easy, di ba? Sayon lang ang life sa magamit, tama? Sayon lang ba ang life sa magamit kung array list o vector? If you will put your shoes in that person, sayon lang ba iyang ma-feel? Katong array list and vector ba? Sayon lang iyang ma-feel? Dili. Dili gyapon. Katong maka-add lang ka directly, maka-remove. Na. Okay. But since you're a programmer, you have to play both roles. Dapat creator ka at the same time user. Kumbaga, himo kag algo nimo and this is how it would take you as a programmer para masabtan nimo para makabalo kag ato lang mura gi-simulate ang idea sa array list and vector. That's your problem. Oo na. It will not. Basta. Okay, sige. Anyway, that's it. this is what you will expect in your second year. So inani na ang mga means of programming ninyo, dili na tong typical regular na programming na dire lang tanan. Then this time expected inani ninyong mga pambuhaton. Like you will be creating your own algo inside of that class, and that class will be available for some programmers or users to be taken advantage of. Yan. Okay? Sige. So mura na nagdinaani ba no kanang Aqua Flask para makabalota yun sa paghimong Aqua Flask. Dapat dili na imong tingog sir. Para makabalota yun sa paghimong Aqua Flask sa buhaton na to. We'll need to understand how this behaves, what are the internal parts of this one. Kay gusto man ka mag-create og inani. Okay? So you'll need to understand the means kung giunsa siya pagbuhat unsay mga internal parts ana. So we're done with user-defined classes. I just hope you are able to at least understand this a little bit, and then in your second year probably mao na lang yung focus. So now we'll head to, it's 10:56, so we still have time. We're now going to proceed with GUI or Graphical User Interface or GUI. Ha? Unyang hapon, no? Nato ang tanong. GUI sa ta. So, to tell you honestly, pag mag-GUI ta, much better kay sa paman first year mo karon, you will practice na you will do it the hard way. Kanang hard code siya. Ayaw nang drag and drop kay di mo mahawda na. And you will not appreciate the OOP itself. Okay. So let's try muna the hard way on how to build or create UI in Java. The hard way, dili tong drag and drop. So let's have here. Okay, everyone, you can follow. So yes, let's have sample UI na lang. Sige. So duha ka, actually there are two ways, actually three, pag-create og UI. Una is through composition, the other one is through inheritance, and the other one is through drag and drop. Ang i-demonstrate na ko for now is through composition. So first is, let's have declared frame. So let's say JFrame my frame na lang. Okay. So let's talk about frame muna. Everything about frame. No, it's not a G-option pane. It's a frame, Jod. It's a form. So my frame equals new. So notice, si frame itself is an encapsulated class. So meaning gi-build ni siya sa programmer para magamit nato na mas mapadali ato ang job as a developer. So point na tayo mga constructor that we can choose from, either empty lang siya na frame, or if you want na butangan nimo siya title frame. Let's say this one is my frame. Ang title sa ato ang frame is my frame. So we can specify that set size, so kung sa iyang size, and then that's it. Yeah, tama dai no. Did I answera na to yung exam? Ano to yung gusto? Sige, later answera na to. So we have 200 by 200 pixels, meaning to say we try to develop a UI, a frame that is, ang size niya would be 200 by 200 pixels. Ang iyang kadako og width, ang iyang width and iyang length rather. So now let's have here my frame that set visible to true. So ana lang, no? And then we can call this one to from other class, pero pwede na po directly. Main na lang yung new sample UI. With this, yun, inana tara siya. So we're able to develop a simple, gamay lang tayo na frame. Okay? So if you want to expand it like 500 by 700, so this is 500 by 700 pixels of frame. So sir, naa siya sa left side part. Gusto na ko sa center siya mag-display. So if you want na sa center siya mag-display, gamita lang ang method na myFrame.set location relative to null. Gusto ka na mag-center siya. First run niya sa center siya mo dagat. Okay. Sir, I don't want, I want the, I want my frame na maximize iyahang kadako, like dili na nako siya ianaon mo, as in i-occupy niya ang entire screen. So you can have my frame that set extended state, my frame that maximize both. So pwede ni mo na siya gamiton. Maximize both, meaning both horizontal and vertical maximize. So when I run this program there, so automatic. So meaning nawala na ning essence aning set size na 500 by 700. So I want the nag-want ninyo eh. So I want my frame na wala siya minimize, maximize, and close button. So you can have this like my frame dot set undecorated. Set undecorated to true. So whenever you run this one, wala na siya maximize, minimize button. Okay? Pero tanggalan natin na siya. So, balik na ko siya sa 500 by 400. All right. So I also would want my frame to have background color. So if you want a background color for your frame, set background color daw. Sige, my frame that set background color. So natay mga color na automatic lang, like color that red, blue, anana. So let's try blue. So that is found at AWT. AWT stands for Abstract Window Toolkit. So when we run this one, sir, wala lagi blue. Actually, ang blue ana nasa likod, nasa ilalom. Natabunan na siya. Okay, kulangan lang tao isa ka method. Get content pane. Get content pane that set background color blue. Run. There. So, na siya color. So solid man ka sir, gusto na ko kanang na ay transparency, na ay translucency. Pwede na niyo buhaton using the RGB. So new color. Okay, kabalo mo ng RGB. Pila may pinaka max value sa RGB? 255. So RGB red, green, blue, tama? Red, green, blue. So kung gusto na ko red siya 255, the rest will be 0 and 0. So ang color ani is red. If gusto na ko i-combine ang duha, butang na ko na ay 150 na color sa kuan. Diya na mo gas yung pagka-artist. Color sinana yan color. If gusto na ko na naa siya ay medyo dili siya solid color, pwede niyo utangan dili og 80%. Meaning 80% lang siya na mag-appear as like that. So dili na siya solid. Na siya more ka-pale, no? Ayan lang niya. So 90, it's up to you kung kani siya alpha ni siya. Murag yang translucency. So, oh, di ba? Inana lang. That is what it will take you. Medyo, ano, ay, sorry, 90 di ay. Kanang, avocado. Ang saan? Avocado color. Ang botan na color. Basta, a combination ni siya of red and green. Pero 150 lang siya. So inana lang og maghimo og J-frame. So dali lang di ba i-hard code. Ang lisod is kung nana kay other component like nana kay buttons, nana kay wala sa inyo. Isa. Wala sa base code. J na lang. Sunod na ng pre. Amo na itong button. Tata mga button. Sana? Yes, sir. Okay, so tangan na to siya o pag ano lang ta, simple lang ka na mag-add o mag-add, subtract lang sa let's create muna a simple application that adds to values lang sa. Okay ra? Katong dako iya kanang i-occupy niya ang as in full screen siya. Full screen. Sige, so ang goal na to is mag-add lang to two numbers or two values. So let's have here private K label. So ano to label? LBL, let's say first, and then LBL second. Alam. So LBL stands for label, no? Para, yeah, J label. And then let's have the text field, no, J text field. So TXT, let's say first. So much better mag-follow mo og naming convention kay that is our meta language as a software developers. If you don't follow the naming convention, wala may problema, but if you're working as a team, medyo medyo you will have conflict. So much better you will follow the naming convention. So for J button, we have BTN, let's say add, and then BTN subtract, BTN divide, BTN multiply. So we have these components, ibutang nato na siya sa atong frame. All right, to start with to instantiate sa nato sila every time mag ano ta ang instantiate nato siya. So LBL first is equal to new J label. So pwede na nyo butang mga automatic na lang na enter or first number. And then let's have second. We have this is second, no? LBL. So hinayon na akong type ha para makaapas ang uban. And we have second number. And then let's have TXT first and TXT second. TXT first. So we call this as instantiation, guys. New J text field. So kung gusto ka na i-size initial size, we have putang kag 20 dira. And then let's just copy paste this one. And then this is like TXT second. So let's have beat the buttons. So ano natin yan siya? J buttons. So let's have here the add. Copy paste ko lang yan siya lahat. There. Ano lang na, gamay-gamay para maklaro. So let's just tweak some of this na this one is subtract. This one is divide. This one is multiply. Sobra na di ay. So make sure na change ninyo ni to BTN subtract. This is also changed to divide. And then this one is to multiply. So now that we have already instantiated every component of component that we are going to put on top of the frame, we can now place this one. So how do we put this one sa frame? So make sure na it's after this one. So natin gina-follow na layout managers. If naka Android Studio mo na yung mga layout managers dito like linear layout, relative layout, constraint layout. Si Java, since Java mangyapon na almost the same lang siya pero lahi lang iyang mga layout managers. So diri sa Java natay flow layout, natay grid layout, grid bag layout, spring layout, and actually a lot of layout managers. Pwede po ta dili mo follow og layout managers, kita mismo mag position. But kung gusto mo na mas dali, either flow layout or grid layout, pero medyo pangit lang ang ang imuhang UI. Pero sige, try sa nato mag-flow layout. So my frame dot set layout, new flow layout, and then i-add lang ninyo siya, my frame dot add. Then let's have here LBL first. So i-add lang yun ninyo siya guys. Tungod then txt first. So try sa nato ni. So this will be added yan. First number. So madungag siya. So if we proceed to adding another label, let's say label second and txt second, you just have to proceed that and then run. Then you have here. Ang flow layout is mag-ano siya whenever pagamay nimo ng imuhang sana mo ano siya, go with the flow, kaya siya tawag niya flow layout, no? So di nimo plaster og tarong, so mag-relative siya sa imuhang frame. Sir, pwede ba ang frame dili ma-resizable? O pwede. I-set resizable to false lang nimo siya. My frame that set resizable to false. Para dili na siya nimo sana, like dili na nako na siya ma-resize. So mao lang na advantage, disadvantage sa flow layout guys. So either pagamyon nimo imong frame to 400 para mo fit siya na ana. Okay? So dili siya plus star, no? Then i-add lang sa natong button. So my frame dot add btn add so btn subtract, btn divide, and btn multiply. So with that, medyo dili siya na plaster og tarong, pero yeah, that's it, na butang na to ang iyahang buttons. So one layout manager, if dili mo magamit og flow layout, you can use grid layout. The problem lang with grid layout is ang grid layout is equally distributed siya ang size niya. So let's say row 1 ni siya, then row 2, and this one is row 3, then row 4. So meaning nakay 4 ka rows and then 2 ka columns. So if gamiton ni mong grid layout, inana po diyang forma. Equally distributed siya, which is a little bit pangit, no? So kung resizable ni imo ang frame, let's say resizable, run nimo siya, ma-resize nimo siya pero inanaon pa nimo. So I've told you equally distributed. So kung gusto ka na ikaw mag-position kanang ikaw di mag-place sa imong unsa ni ang galaning kani layout, puli siya null. As in wala kay layout manager. So ikaw mag-position. So kani ang medyo lang trabahoso na part sa mag-manual ka. Kay natay x and y, that is coordinates o math na po. So x and y coordinates, ang kaning nasa left top mao na ang 0 0 coordinates. Yes, topmost left. Tapos ang width and height kung unsa ka dako, kung unsa siya kadako mabutang, and then unsa ka taas. So example, ibutang nato siya sa 20. Ibutang nato siya sa 0 0 20 20. 20 ang x, 20 ang y, and then ang width nimo let's say 60 lang. And then ang height nimo is 20. Pwede nimo ibutang 30. 20 lang, sige 20. So with this, Ang first num, okay, kulang ang iyang ano, yung 80 na to ni 80. So ang first number is nabutang siya sa 20 na x coordinate o y coordinate with the width na yes, nato ko ito ba? Saan pagkaibalo? Mao na ni 20x 20y tapos 80 ang width, 20 ang height. Pixels man. So meaning actually estimation lang pero dali naman ang estimate. So kani example kani first itapad nato si kaning TXT first. So dapat ang iyang mag-move ani ang x coordinate lang tama. Ang y pareha lang slag y. Parehas lag y. Actually pareha lang dapat sila y. Ang x lang ang mo kaning x lang jud no kani yung x ang kalaban kay nato. So 100 sir. Yes, kasi dapat mulapas siya sa 80 para dili mag-overlap. Dili man pwede 90. Pwede na, pwede 100. Pero yeah, it's up to you kung inanay mong ano. Pwede ka natin i-change into 100 para di kayo siya 100. Sorry. Tapos kani 120 na to. And then kana na to i-follow. Yan. So first number and then dire na part si second dapat sa baba. So dapat ang y na po nato ang i-change dire. So 20 gyapon yang x pero ang y niya would be 40. Okay, pwede times 2 no, double the ano. Check na to. So medyo doon lang kayo. So 60 na lang para di kayo siya medyo na gap. Malayo na po kayo no. 50 na lang. So 50 and then dapat kaning ato ang txt second would be pero 120 lang yapon. 120 ni siya. Para mo linya jud siya. O linya siya plus star. Pero di ba gwapo-gwapo na tanawon compared to ganina. Okay. So ayan, it's just a matter of kaning sa set bounds. Di ba mas dali ni siya. Okay, next is ang buttons na to na add. So dapat ang coordinates niya y is the 50 plus 20 is 70 no? Mag-add-add lang jud ka plus plus ano. Gamay rag allowance so butang nato ni mga 80 tapos 80 pod ni siya. Sa yung ano. Dako ra kay iyang size, width. Tanato na width ani is 60 lang. Dili but ano na to yang i-120 na lang na to yang x coordinates para tungod siya. Yeah. So and then isa ka na lang nato ni gamay be 120 tapos kani 140 pero basta kamo na arrange what happened 120 na dapat ni. So then ang subtract na to would be the same as this one 140 plus 60 that's 180 no. Sabtan ko ninyo guys. Ay, overlap gamay. So, 200 na lang. Or 190 dapat. Pero try na to. Wala ang subtract. Kaya dako, taas-taas mo dahil, no? Pulihan na lang ako ni Kuan B, plus sign. Minus, divide, and then Multiplication. Para di mawala. Kay kapoy mag-adjust. At least ana lang. Okay. Ana na lang, no? Gamay-gamay. And then we'll do the same for this one. Pero isa ka na to gamay iyahang y coordinates. And then kani pod isa ka po nato gamay simple. Simple calculator lang. Oh, that is what it will take you pag mag hard code ka, no? So, ikaw, pero at least ikaw jud mismo ang nag-arrange sa imong. Pero na mga easier way ani actually magamit kag mga JPanel tapos i-grid layout nimo. Those are the techniques. Mas mapadali nimo imong ano. Pero again, ikaw gyapon nag-code. Pero sige, ato ang butang actions. Actually mas prefer ganin ako na ako'y mag-arrange kaysa sa drag and drop. Anyway, let's have actions for BTN add. Actions na ta BTN add dot add action listener new action listener sa button. So let's have here in num1 is equal to txt dot first dot get text. So pwede nato ni siya i-parse diretso. I-parse nato ni. So integer dot parse in. I-convert sa nato siya into string para dawaton niya. Wait, this one. Then we'll do the same for num2. So int num2, then txt second. So asa na to siya i-display? Sa GOption pane lang. GOption pane dot show message dialog. So dire na to makita katong di ba? Usually atong ginabutang green nullman, tama? So since nanay component, nanay mga frame, pwede na nato ibutang diri si my frame instead of null lang. Then you can have the sum of pwede na wala. The sum is num1 plus num2. So yeah, that's it. That's Butangka 5 and 6. So the sum is 11. Okay? So yeah, inana. And if you want to put action to your minus or subtract, inani on lang copy paste na nimo ni, then change na nimo ni to subtract. Example, ipakita na lang po nato. Copy paste and then change this to subtract. Pero isa lang ni sa way ha, daghan pag way adi na inani mas actually mas dali tong ikaduha nga buhaton ani. So this is the difference na po. The difference is ayan. So ang problem lang with this one is morning regular na maghatag og action. Pwede ta mag OOP ani which is katong implements pero again man mo idea pa ang uban ato so dili na lang nako to i-ano sa OOP na lang to ninyo pohon ang i-implements ninyo or katupad yung isa na tanan actions ninyo ibutang niyo sa isa ka class and then dito tanan ang operations. Call na lang. Kani man god. Okay man siya pag duha lang tutulo ka duha ka buttons lang inyong. Pero pag daghan mo buttons, di inaani tanan pangit, no? Di ba? Kaya ani or balik-balik inyong balik-balik. Pag dahag buttons ha, this is not good pag dahag buttons. Pero pag isa to duha lang buttons pwede ra ni inaani yung gamiton. So, ayan. The difference is 4. Sige. So now, pag UI mo or pag mag-drag and drop mo, dire lang mo sa help and then install new software. Tapos, anuhan lang to yung window builder. Kita lang niyo ng window builder. Aw. Naman yung website, kita ta. Kita na siya. Platon lang po nato na siya. Kita tag window builder dira. So check na to dire. Kanina lang tanan oh. Yan. Then next sa kasi external man gud ang drag and drop dili man gud sa Java jud lahi nagahimo ana si J Designer. Nagahim kana sila isang organization, external organization na naga-create og drag and drop na mechanisms for Java. So dili jud na from Oracle. Lahi na sila. Para tabangan daw ng mga programmers na mas mapadali ang job sa nato, no? So, installing 48%. So kung NetBeans mo og IntelliJ na siya automatic. Sa Eclipse kay i-install lang ninyo siya. Same sa VS Code, kailangan niyo i-install ang iyang extension. Wani gana ang So later after doon, we'll have the code. Ato sa ning manon. Restart sa ako niya. I-write Katuloy di ba? Apple. Tapos zero mag-bit. So, mo na siya way nakita kay zero tanan meaning wala siya ano. So kani guys pag mag-create na mo og class nana so once na tong window builder mag-type lang mo JFrame wala lagi oh. Wala, wait. Check na po. Kita ang tag site we. Copy na lang nato. Window builder for Eclipse. NetBeans dire. NetBeans ni dire. If this will not work, I don't know what seems to be the problem, but na-install naman ako ang window builder. Maybe I will need to restart the PC siguro. Try na to ne. Nightly build. Grid layout. Ano siya? Na ako siya row column. More siya two-dimensional array. Ha? Sige, while waiting sa frame, ansira na to tinyong ansira na to ang ano? Exam? Dali na to. Pwede na to. Pwede na to minutes na. Seconds, kaya na kahit. Gutom na sila? Ay, nato sa ato ang ano, no? Wait. Dapat tong copy diri sa unsa na siya? Tanaw, kuha na pud ang X, kung pila ka row, pila ka column na. Sana. Ay, sorry. Pwede na wala. Kisa ni copy. Nadiri sa ano no, sa nadiri. Pwede na po dili. Pero kung gusto ka organize, pwede po. Asa kay to dapat teams, no? Balikan sana ako kung naan na siya. Ano na. So, okay, naan na siya. Na-install na siya ang window builder sa frame. Sa Eclipse. Click na rin niya, JFrame next. And then, let's say, frame, and then finish. And then, with that, mo na niyang i-generate na codes. So, di ba? If, imagine, auto-generated ang codes, pre-generated, at least na naka-drag, naka-try mo, sanay manually hard code ninyo siya, at least you have idea unsa to siyang, by the way, una ko na-discuss ning set default close operation. So, nani siya, hide on close, dispose on close, exit on close, and it serves its purpose. Then, nara set bounds kung asa siya na position. Then, mga content pane, as I told you, kanang content pane, mo nang mo ipatong sa Java, sa frame, on top of frame. And then, every time mag-add mo og, let's say mag-add ko og mag-design ko here, kadugay. And then let's say butang kong button diri. So ano lang siya. Then i-change lang ninyo ang ID niya or kaning button to let's say BTN let's say click ana tapos yang text kay change ninyo to click to subscribe dito. Tapos change ninyo ang iyang font. Pwede niyo i-change ang mga font rin, ang color, foreground, etc. Diyan niyo ma-change and then click lang nimo na siya then there na siya yung mga generated na codes and then all you need to do is kamo na magbutang og codes ninyo. Automatic siya. So let's say butang mo option pane or anything na say iyan nyo dira. So null and then let's have you click you click the button. So run and then you click the button. So yan then balik mo sa design if you want to design more. So kanilang siya ang problem ang is no problem actually. You can have use dapat mga layout na absolute layout, border layout, grid layout, flow layout. Kaning absolute layout, once ibutang nimo na dira, you can position your buttons. Launch na ta? JText field. Oh, inana na siya guys. So, dali lang kayo. Oh, ayan. Oh, isn't it amazing? Ayan. J-combo box. Oh, ano na siya guys? Jared secret, imo pala my day. Help tapos marketplace. Tapos pag naman sa marketplace, nanag sa IntelliJ daan sa NetBeans code. Pero kung Eclipse yung gamitin tapos may talang window builder, i-click na siya sa IntelliJ o sa NetBeans. NetBeans automatic. Window builder, enter lang, tapos i-install lang. Installed naman siya. So, nanag siya, dali ka kayo. Pero, again, ang code ani, at least kasabot lang ta mo gamay, no? So, ato ta sa source, daghan na kay codes, no? Pero at least na may idea. Kaniyo, mali ganyan convention, pangit yung naming convention, text field 2, text, I don't recommend that. So dapat every time mag-create mo og mga text field, i-change yun ninyo dire ang iyang variable. Let's say txt unsa na para pang name ba na siya? Dapat ana jud niyo siya. Kani nga button sa man button pang save. Okay, dapat kana ang pangalan ana is ang pangalan na button dapat btn save. Ayan. Change na niyo ang text ana niya into save. Then himo da when click ana then butang niyo dra unsa inyong action ana. Kana automatic. So gani mo kana gyud sa open tab windows. Basta right click lang ka, right click and then new. Tapos if you intend na gamiton ang window builder, click lang ka frame. Then click frame. Ay sir kanada. Pag mo sa frame sir, and then so mag-iba na pud na content sir ba? I think maka sa add lang ka. Add lang sir. O new class. Or other para maano mo siya ang frame. Ibuka na dito ang So this is what we will do later sa afternoon. Tung button is mangita tag laboratory later on maka-CRUD ta, maka-perform tag CRUD operation sa Java kanang ma-store na to sa text file. So balik ta morning exam no adala. Ansiran pa nato ni or nya na lang. Nya na lang sige, mag-lunch siya daw ta. Okay na po. Gutom man po ko. Sige, then I guess that's it. Then we'll be back at 1. Okay lang? Mangita ta kung na-vacant ha. Balitaan lang mo. So, Thank you guys for joining, and see you later.